All right, guys, I'm back at it with another one, and today we're talking about decisions. You know how we're doing this. We're taking this a mile at a time, because if not now, when? All right, guys, today I wanted to talk about decisions, and the reason I say decisions is because there was a quote that I read, and it's been some years now since I've read this quote. The quote is, uh, you're free to choose. You're not free from the consequence of your choice. And ever since I read that quote, like I said, it's been some years now, but ever since I read that quote, it's really resonated with me, and I've always thought about it. Anytime I got to make a decision, I always think about that quote. I'll always think about that, and I don't know. I think if you have that, I think you guys should write that one down, and I think you just read that every time you got to make a decision. Read that. Think about that. Eventually, you get to a point where you don't need, like, you'll be able to do that subconsciously. When anytime you got to make a decision, subconsciously you'll be thinking about that, and you'll be able to make your decisions based off of that. All right. And when I say consequence, I don't really mean, that's not a negative term, because some people right away, once they hear consequence, that's like, oh, you're in trouble. No. So consequence, another term for that could be like the outcome or result. You know what I mean? So, like I said, you're free to choose. You're not free from the outcome of your choice. You're not free from the result of your choice. So if you feel better using that, write that down, and you can always replace consequence with outcome or result. But like I said, ever since I read that, it's resonated with me, and I've always thought about that. Like now, when I make decisions, I don't necessarily have to think about that because subconsciously I know that. So it helps me make better decisions because I think about the result of those decisions. So, obviously, if it's going to be something negative or something bad, that's not a decision you want to make. You want to go off of the decisions that are going to help propel you, help you elevate, help you get to the next level, and help you get to where you want to be. Anything that's going to be a negative impact on you, you're taking a step back now because of that. Yeah, you don't want to do that. So again, you're free to choose. You're not free from the consequence of your choice. So again, now I don't even actually, how I said I don't think about that. I do. It happens subconsciously, but I still do think about it just because of how much that quote resonates with me. I remember back in 2013, I've mentioned before that, I was an alcoholic or on the verge of being an alcoholic. My drinking was bad. I actually had 2 DUIs. My last one was in 2013. And the crazy thing about that is when I got that DUI, I was working at the time. I was very blessed to be able to keep my job, even after the DUI. The thing that was not the best part was the vehicle I got the DUI in happened to be the vehicle that my boss was going to sell me. And I hadn't even made a payment on it. I think I just got it. If I remember correctly, that DUI happened either Friday night or Saturday night. Now, I think it was Saturday. It was like Friday night, Saturday morning. And he had just let me take the vehicle home that weekend, that Friday. So boom, that weekend, DUI, go to work Monday, and now I have to explain to the boss why I showed up without the vehicle. You know what I mean? He kept me working, and I think it was mostly because he wanted me to help pay him back for, the tow and the impound and all that, those expenses. So he kept me working, but luckily after I paid that off, I was able to build up that rapport back, and he kept me on a lot longer after that. So that was a blessing. But I remember, once you get a DUI, you lose your vehicle, you lose your license, and you have to start. There's a lot to it. And I lost my license, lost a vehicle, no more vehicles. Now I can't even drive. So, and it was my only vehicle at the time. So I remember I had a bike, so I started taking the bike to and from work. And I remember one day I'm taking the bike home from work. I'm leaving work, and I'm riding my bike home, and I thought to myself, I'm like, man, this sucks. Like this sucks. It sucks, right? Having to ride a bike, especially when you're in the middle of summer. It's hot. You're just sweating up a storm. So yeah, it was horrible at the time. But then I also thought, because I had read this quote by then, I thought to myself, you know what? Those are the consequences of the choice I made. I got to live with it. It didn't necessarily take that away, like the pain and how much it sucked, but it helped alleviate some of it. You know what I mean? It helped it in the sense of, you know what? I made the decision. I got to live with the consequences. I got to live with the result of that decision. So again, that's really helped me in a lot of ways. I like, even when I'm talking to somebody, I think about that quote. You know, when I'm out and about, I think about that quote actually quite a bit. Sometimes when I talk to friends, you know, I'll bring the quote up with them just because, like, again, I think that's a good thing to hear and a good thing to keep in mind anytime you're making a decision. So any of you out there, if you guys know somebody who happens to not be good at making choices or decisions or anything, tell them that. You're free to choose. You're not free from the consequence of your choice. And that might help them make better decisions. Or just say it in general. You know, you're out talking to your friends and, hey, I heard this the other day from Carlos. I was watching his videos and this is what he said. You're free to choose. You're not free from the consequence of your choice. And then you can either show them the video or try to explain it to them too. You know, it's how it's going to help them make better decisions. And then also what I want you to do is, now that you know this, think about that. Like I said, really write that down everywhere. Everything I tell you, you know, write these things down and have them everywhere to help you get to the next level and help you in your process, help you on your steps and whatever, help you on your journey or whatever your journey is. But let me know too, like throw down in the comments or something. Hey, ever since this video, I wrote that down, and now anytime I make a decision, I think about that, and now I'm able to make better decisions. So if that's helping you, let me know. You know, reach out to me, shoot me an email or comment, and let me know. Hey, ever since I heard this, it's really been helping me with my decision making. You know what I mean? Or if it's not, like, hey, I tried it and it doesn't really work, I do this now instead. Or, you know, whatever the case is, let me know, and that'll let me know that, you know, this was a good thing that's really helping you out and benefiting you guys. All right, so that's it for today. You guys already know how we doing this. We're taking this a lot of time, because if not now, when? So I'll see you guys in the next one.